Hello participants. We have met before, haven't we? I'm Meera Srinivas. Do you remember we worked on summarizing skills in the previous module? Welcome to the second module in writing. The writing unit, as mentioned earlier, has 4 modules and this is module number 2. In this module, we will discuss essay writing. In the previous module on summarizing, you read short texts and their summaries and analyzed them. You identified topic sentences, main ideas and supporting details and practiced note-making and summarizing skills. You will now get an opportunity to use these skills for writing essays. In this module, you will learn how to write essays. You will learn about the structure of an essay, how essays are organized, the types of essays and the process involved in writing an essay. I'm sure you will find this useful because as students, you are expected to write essays all the time in the classroom, in examinations, and it is undoubtedly a difficult task for all of us. May I suggest that you first download Writing Worksheet 2? Keep it ready. It has learning points and practice tasks to hone your essay writing skills. By the end of this module, you will be able to read and understand the prompt, the essay topic or question, structure an essay into paragraphs, introduction, body and conclusion, distinguish types of essays, plan and develop an outline of an essay, develop its ideas logically and sequentially using examples and illustrations, and write an essay on a given topic using paragraphs, linkers, accurate grammar, vocabulary and punctuation. Now let's see what an essay is. An essay is a longish piece of writing. You could call it a composition that has ideas, descriptions, opinions, arguments on a given topic. It could be a social issue that we are writing about, an event, a person, or an experience. For example, you could be writing about climate change or describing Independence Day celebrations or a person you admire or your experience while you are traveling abroad. An essay usually contains 3 to 5 paragraphs that are well structured. It also answers a prompt, a question or a statement. In fact, it is an answer to a prompt. Now, what is a prompt? Let's look at an example. Let me read out something to you. It is generally believed that television affects family and social life because people watch TV all the time instead of spending time with the family or visiting relatives and friends. To what extent do you agree or disagree with this statement? Give reasons for your answer and include relevant examples. Now, this is actually a prompt and it is, you could call it a question, and your essay is expected to answer the question in the prompt. An essay is usually structured into 3 main parts. You have the introduction, the body and the conclusion. An introduction in an essay has an initial sentence introducing the essay, provides background information and a thesis statement or a point of view if it is relevant. The body usually contains 3 paragraphs. They contain supporting arguments, evidence, details, information, illustrations, examples, which help you to develop the main ideas that you have planned to write in the essay. The concluding paragraph summarizes all the ideas that you have stated in the essay. It can also help you restate the thesis statement, your point of view, and bring the essay to a close. Now, there are different types of essays, and they have different purposes and are written in different styles. The following are the most common type of essay: descriptive, narrative, expository, and argumentative. Now, I have two videos for you to watch. They will tell you more about the different types of essays. So, can you just go open the link and watch the two videos? The videos are interesting and clear, aren't they? Shall we summarize them? Let us put to use the summarizing skills we learnt earlier. The videos discuss the types of essays, their structure, purpose, and goal with examples. The descriptive, narrative essays are categorized as personal and subjective in tone and style, and the analytical, expository, and argumentative essays are described as being objective and neutral in tone and style. Now, let's move on and talk about the different steps involved in writing an essay. First, I think it's very, very important for you to read the prompt, the question carefully. Find out what it requires you to do. Compare and contrast, or agree or disagree, discuss advantages and disadvantages, or cause and effects. You must be very clear about the prompt and its demands on you as a writer. Otherwise, you might deviate from the question given to you. After you understand the question, the prompt, plan an outline of the essay. List the points that you would like to include in your essay. Also, gather examples, supporting evidence, relevant information to develop the points. Think of an interesting way to begin the essay. I think that is very important. An initial sentence. Sometimes you could have a quotation, or a simple rhetorical question, or simple overarching statement, a general statement. Then you include background information and a thesis statement if it is relevant. Once you plan the first paragraph carefully, organize the body of the essay in 3 clear paragraphs. Make sure that each paragraph has a new idea and supporting evidence, examples, illustrations to develop the main idea. Then the final paragraph is the conclusion to the essay. You can summarize the ideas that you have developed in the essay. You know summarizing skills by now, you have learnt about it, and then restate the main thesis and argument of the essay. Include a punch line if it is appropriate to bring the essay to a close. This is all about drafting an essay, but in writing, it is very important to revise what we have written. So, revise the essay finally. Look for vocabulary, the range of structures, grammar, that is, and punctuation, and then you are done. You have written your essay. If you follow these steps systematically, you will be able to write a good essay. Shall we now look at a sample essay? I would suggest you go to the writing worksheet 2, where we have listed for you the objectives of the module and the tasks. Look at task 2.1. It contains 3 things, 3 parts it has. A prompt, an essay written by a student, and an analysis of the essay. Let us first discuss the prompt. The prompt I'm going to read it out to you. You have it in the worksheet too. Social media networks like Facebook, Twitter have become popular. These sites provide a platform for sharing views and opinions on personal and social issues, help to connect with people worldwide, and promote personal and social and professional networking. However, the effect of this mode of communication is not always positive. There is invasion of privacy as people increasingly are living their lives in public, and security concerns too, impacting relationships and causing negative social effects. Now, this is the prompt given to you. You have to state your opinion on this while discussing the advantages and disadvantages in an essay of about 250 words. Provide relevant examples to support your answer. Now, if you look at this prompt, the topic is social media and its use. There are 3 parts to the prompt. You are first expected to discuss the advantages and then the disadvantages, and finally give your opinion. You can also develop the points mentioned in the prompt. Actually, you should do that because then you are addressing the prompt. You can also bring in additional information and details and other points to augment your argument. This is an analytical, argumentative essay topic. Now, let us read a student's essay. There is a very interesting title given to this essay. It says, "Social networking sites, a bane to society." There is some kind of a hint, right, in the title that the writer perhaps thinks that it is a bane to society, but there is a question mark asking us to think about it. Essay begins this way. With the inception of Facebook in 2004, social media networks have become an integral part of our daily lives. According to a recent research report by Google, there are more than 0.75 billion active users. Every user spends at least 20 minutes on social networking sites every day. And this is the introductory paragraph. You notice that this person has a clear initial statement. Social media networks have become an integral part of our lives, and supports it with some statistical evidence. But a thesis statement is not included in this paragraph. One would have expected that because the title seems to suggest that the writer has a clear position. Then the second paragraph talks about the advantages. There are several advantages of using Facebook, Twitter, and other networking sites. That's the first sentence in the second paragraph, obviously signaling clearly that it is all about the advantages. The writer uses almost all the points mentioned in the prompt about personal and social issues. It's also about connecting with people worldwide and learning about other cultures and communities. Finally, the writer uses a concluding statement which I personally think is very good. Thus, social networking sites play a prominent role in global communication and integration of a nation. So, this is one body paragraph which focuses on advantages. Then the writer moves to the disadvantages and talks about how it affects teenagers, the privacy and safety concerns, the illegal things that happen sometimes on social networking sites, the cybercrime, talks about social isolation, physical and psychological problems. Everything is put together in this paragraph under disadvantages. This paragraph too ends in an interesting way. Therefore, it says, indiscriminate social media use has detrimental effects on society. But personally, I feel that this paragraph has too many ideas. In the final paragraph, the conclusion, the writer says the disadvantages far outweigh the advantages. Therefore, I conclude that you need rules and regulations to kind of monitor the social media use to make cyberspace more secure and safe for users and society. But again, you notice it talks about advantages being far more than disadvantages, but I wish there had been a supporting statement which can elaborate on this important position that the writer has taken. Now, if you look at the analysis here, it's basically a summary of what we have discussed so far. I'll read it out to you. The essay has a clear introduction, no doubt. The first sentence provides the context, and the writer uses statistics to develop the statement. However, as I mentioned earlier, there is no thesis statement. So therefore, the introductory paragraph seems a bit inadequate, as it is not fully developed. The writer discusses the advantages and disadvantages in subsequent paragraphs. Using the points given in the prompt, I think that's a very important thing for us to remember. The prompt needs to be addressed. While discussing the advantages, the writer talks about different advantages that we have and gives relevant ideas and concludes it appropriately, the paragraph, I mean. However, as I mentioned earlier, while discussing the disadvantages, the writer, I feel, could have categorized the points. She could have spoken about, I assume it's a she, about social and problems, other kind of cybercrime in one paragraph, the effect on health, that is physical health and mental health, in another paragraph. The concluding paragraph presents the writer's opinion, though it does not elaborate or restate the arguments to support it, and that's very important to do in a conclusion, and wraps up the discussion well. The final sentence is very good. The essay on the whole has relevant ideas, is well structured, which has a clear introduction, body and conclusion, and the writer uses a variety of linkers for coherence. In fact, I really like the use of linkers here. If you look at the first paragraph, the writer uses a linker like according to connect, as well as in addition, and then thus for the conclusion. And the third paragraph, she starts with, as a coin has two sides. That's a nice connecting phrase. And towards the end, the writer also uses therefore in that paragraph, and in the final paragraph says in the final analysis. That's a wonderful phrase to use in the conclusion. So there is good use of linkers. That helps to connect the different ideas in the text and makes the essay very, very beautifully structured and easy to read and understand. The essay fulfills most of the requirements of a good essay. As I said, it is well structured, divided into paragraphs, addresses all parts of the prompt, and is written in a simple, communicative style. Do you agree? Let us now take stock of what we have discussed so far. We have described an essay, the structure and the types of essays, and how to write them. Shall we do a quiz to check our understanding of these points? Look at task 2.2 in the worksheet and take 5 minutes to complete the quiz. It has 8 objective type questions. Did you enjoy doing the quiz? Shall we check the answers? For the first question, I'm not reading out the questions because you have them with you. The answer is no, because the thesis statement is essential for argumentative analytical essays, but we may not have one for descriptive or narrative essays. It's not mandatory for all types of essays. For the second question, the answer is D, because the prompt is like the main crux around which the whole essay revolves. You can use the prompt to begin the essay, to develop and present the thesis. For question number 3, the answer is no, because though we say that all essays should have 5 paragraphs, It depends on the type of essay, because you can write a narrative essay in 3 paragraphs, and also the level of the task. If they are young learners, primary school children writing an essay, they might just write a short essay of 3 paragraphs. The question number 4, the answer is B. We don't include pictures, tables in the body of an essay, do we? Question number 5, the answer is A. To write analytical and argumentative essays, we use a formal academic style, not an anecdotal or a subjective kind of writing. Question number 6, what is a hook? A hook is a sentence, the initial sentence that grabs the reader's attention. Question number 7, it is about topic sentence. The answer is C. A topic sentence should predict what the paragraph is about. And for the last question, the answer is B, because the introduction should contain the lead, background, and a thesis statement. Did you get all the answers right? They say practice makes a man perfect. I'm sure you've heard this several times, people telling you this. So let us now practice writing essays to improve our essay writing skills. We will begin by looking at a prompt and an outline of an essay that I have given for you. You just have to develop those points and write an essay. That's easy. In the second task, I look at the prompt and just write the introductory paragraph and make some points for the essay. You don't have to write a full-fledged essay. However, finally, as a home assignment, I would like you to write a 5-paragraph essay on the given topic. Now let's go to the task 2.3. Let's look at the prompt and the essay. The prompt goes like this. It says, many students in India wish to go abroad for higher education. While it has its advantages, students get to meet people from other cultures, get good exposure, and as a result, expand their view of the world. Students also face personal, social, and cultural problems while living and studying abroad. Discuss the advantages and disadvantages, then give your opinion. Write an essay of not less than 300 words. Now, if you look at the prompt, it is very similar to the essay we looked at earlier. It has an opening statement, and the writers have to discuss the advantages, then the disadvantages, and give an opinion. But this time, I have given you the outline of the essay. If I were to write it, I would begin with an introductory paragraph in which I would make a general statement about young people going abroad for higher education. Expand that idea. The trend is popular in India, and every household has someone or other studying abroad. You can give statistics or examples to support this idea and include a thesis statement. What do you think about it? Now let's look at the body paragraphs. You can have 2 paragraphs discussing the advantages, because there are quite a few points mentioned in the prompt. You can talk about learning about other cultures and adjusting to a new culture, expanding your worldview, and picking up life skills and social skills. In the next paragraph, you can talk about the quality of education that you get when you study abroad and the professional skills that you pick up, the opportunity to work abroad. So everything related to education and profession. Then we could move to the problems of living, the disadvantages. You could talk about difficulty in adjusting to a new way of life, loneliness, cultural isolation, unhealthy habits that children pick up because of lack of family support, and racial discrimination that we face in the streets, in universities, and in public places. Having discussed both the advantages of studying abroad and the disadvantages, you can conclude by giving your opinion about this and take a clear position. This is an argumentative essay. Now, when you write this essay, the points are all given to you. Just develop it, expand it. Use a variety of grammatical structures, appropriate topic-related vocabulary. You can pick up vocabulary from the prompt as well, like cultural isolation, racial discrimination. You can pick up all these phrases and use an appropriate formal and objective tone. Organize your essay well in paragraphs and use linkers, sequence markers, because that will make your essay coherent and very, very well structured. Now, you can develop all the points mentioned in the prompt in your essay, add other examples and illustrations and write it. It is not going to be difficult for you. After all, the outline and the structure is given to you. Now, we have discussed so far 2 argumentative essays. The reason why we focused on this in this session is because the argumentative essay is formal, academic, and always a little more challenging to write compared to descriptive and narrative essays, which you use a personal style, it's subjective, you've been doing it all along in schools, and it gives you a little more flexibility. And this is a little more challenging, and therefore we looked at argumentative essays. For the next task, that is 2.4, you have to do 3 things. First, you have to watch a video which focuses on writing an introductory paragraph. Then write an introductory paragraph to the following topic, just the introduction. You don't have to write the body and the conclusion. The topic is also very simple and interesting. Eating at home is safer and healthier than eating in restaurants or canteens. To what extent do you agree with this statement? Here, I want you to look at the prompt carefully. You don't have to talk about whether you agree or disagree. Obviously, you agree. To what extent do you agree? That's important. And you can also compare eating at home with eating in a restaurant. Now, this essay, you can write in about 250 words, giving reasons for your answer. Include examples from your knowledge and experience. It's a simple essay topic, and therefore, I don't think you'll have any difficulty. But after writing the introductory paragraph, you just make some points for the body and the conclusion, which you can develop later. Now, finally, we move on to the last task in your worksheet, task 2.5. Again, you have a video. Watch it carefully. Make notes. You know how to make notes. There are 2 essay topics there. Choose any one, what you're comfortable with. And then keep in mind all that you have learned in this module. Write a full-fledged 5-paragraph essay on the topic that you have chosen. Write and then revise the essay. Okay? What have you learned in this module? You have learned the importance of reading and responding to the prompt appropriately. I think this is very important for an academic argumentative essay, that you don't deviate from the prompt. You understand it carefully and then respond to it. You've also learned the importance of gathering ideas and information, supporting evidence, examples to support your main points. And you also understood the importance of organizing an essay and structuring it in terms of introduction, body, and conclusion. You have learnt about the types of essays and their purposes, tone, and style. Finally, you have learned to write a 5-paragraph essay on a given topic and revise the essay for vocabulary, grammar, and punctuation. I'm sure you are now confident about writing essays on any topic. Thank you.